This thing on? I don't know. I'm going to go with it. Hey, what's up? It's me, Animal. Only on Animal Expedition Files. See you there. Hey everybody, welcome to the Animal Expedition Files. I am your host, The Animal. How's it going, everybody? Welcome. It's a Saturday night and it's good to be back. I took about a couple week hiatus just to get a break for a little bit, but we're back and it's gonna be a really good show. I'm really have a good feeling about this. I got an amazing guest, Kat, in the background right now, chilling. We already talked about some amazing things. And it's gonna be really awesome. I'm excited about this one. It's gonna be really good. But in other news, before we get into my guest, I just want to welcome everybody in the chat room. Thank you so much for being here tonight. It's a beautiful day here in New England. But speaking about New England, we have big news going on in New England, in my home state in Rhode Island. Bigfoot sightings happening. It made the news. Actually, two sightings. One in Connecticut, one in Rhode Island. But why don't you check this out and see what you think?
Bears are one thing, but what do you do if you encounter a Bigfoot? A group known as the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization says a highly credible sighting was reported this month right in New England, but neighbors aren't so sure.
Anything is possible these days, but, you know, I have never seen a Bigfoot.
Black bears, raccoons, bobcats, that sort of thing. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's a Bigfoot too.
The Bigfoot Field researchers say that they got a descriptive eyewitness account on the early morning hours of July 5th in Voluntown, Connecticut. The group has tallied 22 reports of sightings in the state, but most neighbors question if Sasquatch even exists anywhere in the country. According to the Bigfoot researchers, there have been 11 reported sightings in Vermont, most recently in 2019. And Essex County leads northern New York with 9 sightings. The most recent was in 2022, the same year as Franklin County's only sighting.
Well, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's really cool to see this. Bigfoot is coming more often now and than it used to be. But a lot more sightings happening in New England, and it's very exciting. Hey, what's up, Andrew? Hey, what's up, Adele? We'll see. We got Miss Paranormal in the house. We got Flower Coven. What is up? How's it going, William? What's going on, brother? But we're going to get our amazing guest, Kat, on here. And we're going to have some fun here and
hello,
have some little enjoying because there's a lot of stuff to talk about, especially about Kat, about where she came from. And I know we talked a little bit about that.
Yeah.
And what you did. And it's really interesting, especially what you told me about what happened in your life at a younger age. It's holy crap. I can't wait till we talk about it because it's very intriguing when someone goes through something like that and experiences has a totally outcome experience, an outer body experience. And that's really crazy. And I can't wait to hear more about it. And also we're going to be talking about everybody. We're going to talk about your famous Annabelle doll. And also I visited Salem, Massachusetts, which they are putting together the Warrens Museum. And I got to peek because I'm nosy, because, being a podcaster, I have to be nosy. So
Right.
I peeked my eyes in there and saw a few things that are weird, and but we'll talk a little bit about it. But how's it going, Kat?
Good. How's it going for you? How's everyone doing?
Doing good, and I see everybody's in here, and everybody's starting to come on and roll on. Hey, everybody! But what we usually do on Animal Expedition Files is we get to know who you are and be able to tell the folks. And if anybody has any questions for our amazing guests, please don't hesitate to ask. We love questions. We love everybody who gets to listen to this show. And Kat, tell us a little bit about yourself and especially like how you got into the paranormal in your whole experience, especially what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so I pretty much was born into the paranormal. And by that, I mean, my grandmother is a medium or was a medium. She's no longer with us. She was a medicine woman in Brazil. And I had the pleasure of living with her throughout my childhood, watching her do some unexplainable and amazing things, which striked my curiosity from childhood, right? At the age of 4, I was able to see things that I couldn't quite explain. Terrifying at that age. Everything's scary, right? Um, and then at the age of 6, I experienced I died. There's no easy way to put that. In a very violent situation. I guess you could say I was on the other side. And what the other side looked like for me is not what it looked like for everybody. I don't know how long I was gone for. It was just a bunch of static and a ton of voices, and all of them sounded like they were concerned. I
Yeah.
do remember hearing the words, no, not now, no, not now. And then when I woke up from that, it felt like electrical shock throughout my whole body, like
Wow.
someone just had tasered me. Ever since then, I was a little more open to things, but I wasn't quite accepting of them. Matter of fact, I don't think I started accepting it until my late 30s.
Mm.
I kind of wanted to ignore that part of me, right? Because it's scary. Like you walk into a room and something's there it's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
My reaction was like, yeah, so not going to be in this room anymore. Have a good day.
Yeah. Not
But
today,
yes,
Satan.
so that's basically what opened me up to explore further what's out there,
Mhm.
um what am I seeing? Is it real? Medically, there's no diagnoses that would explain why I would see or experience these things. What was my grandma experiencing? The older I get, the more I do this, the more it opens up for me, the more I'm experiencing things. So it's kind of not something that I rely on per se when I investigate, but it's kind of cool to have that acknowledgement there.
Yeah. Well, that's very interesting just to be able to, and especially like when you said the more experience you have, the more things happen. Do you ever find that like happen? Like, do you ever feel like the more intensity that something happens, the more that um your gifts shine?
Um, what do you mean, like intensity of the location,
The intensity
or
of location, like if it's like a mean spirit or a happy spirit, or
um,
that's like not good.
it really depends on the strength of the spirit communicating, right? And I wish I could say I have a lot of more happy spirits than I have angry spirits, but it's been
Mm.
mainly with the angry ones. Usually for me, when I walk into the room, it makes me sick. It makes me feel like I'm about to get sick. So I have
Yeah.
to take a moment to ground myself. Um, Matter of fact, my team did a test a week ago where they laid out a bunch of items that we've collected from, haunted items. So it was 5 items. They blindfolded me, they
Hmm.
turned me around, they laid them all out on the pool table, and they hovered my hand above them. I got them all right. That
Wow.
actually scared me. I was like,
Yeah.
why do I know? I don't want to know this. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, it's totally cool. But for me, I am guarded when I approach it, right?
Yeah.
because there's things that I don't want to open myself up
Hmm.
to communicate with.
Have you ever had an issue like falling asleep or something like that when you're in the middle of sleeping where a spirit tried to contact you?
One time only, something grabbed my foot and I felt it. It woke me up. It scared the crap out of me. It pissed me off because I was tired and I'm like,
Yeah.
let me go to sleep.
Yeah.
Um, it felt bony and cold. The hands felt very
Oh,
bony and cold on my toes and it pulled significantly hard. Other
wow.
than that, I'm a pretty heavy sleeper.
Yeah.
I can sleep through a tornado. And matter of fact, I have slept through a tornado. So
Oh.
they would have to put a lot of energy into that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm totally the other way. If like someone woke me up, I'd be like, "What the?" Because I can't sleep. I'm not a heavy sleeper. My kids walk around downstairs. Now that I live in an older home, like you can hear everything creak. So like
Hmm.
anything, even though my house is haunted, when my kids are asleep, I'll hear creaking and stuff like that. But
Uh-huh.
like, when they are awake and stuff, they'll like bang and all this stuff, and I'm like, I'm up. Like once I'm up, I'm up. I
The
can't even
kids
go
wake
back
me
to sleep.
up.
Yeah.
That is the only thing that will wake me up is my kids. Anything else, I don't know how I manage to do this, but if it's not my kids, I'm sleeping.
Let me ask you this because I've been like especially like for being in the paranormal for a very long time, and I'm sure for you too. Like, do you think in the paranormal what we are experiencing are actually ghosts? And the meaning the word ghost is actually a spirit from someone who passed away, or is it somebody who is in another realm that's actually alive and we're experiencing their out of body experience?
Well, I've never thought of that before, but that's actually a pretty cool concept. I don't see why both couldn't exist at the same time. I don't think everything is per se a ghost, right? I
Hmm.
think oftentimes you'll walk into a situation where it's just residual energy
Hmm.
or perhaps energy that was added by people going there and believing so hard. There's a name for this. Is it egregore? Luna, I think is the egregore that I'm talking about. I think I'm talking about an egregore. Anyways, energy that you put into the building that will actually manifest something. In fact, we had an experience like that. One of my favorite locations to go to with my friends is the Cripple Creek Outlaw and Lawman Jail
Hmm.
Museum. And we've been investigating that location for 4 years now, consistently. As of recently in the basement area, which by the way, the east side of the basement was never active, and all of a sudden there's this thing there that wants to portray itself as a human, but it really isn't a human. And I clocked it. I was like, I don't know what that is, but it's definitely not human. I don't know what it is. I will not say demon. I can personally tell you I have never encountered a demon anywhere I've gone.
Yeah.
I I mean, if you really think about demons, they're supposed to be these higher ranking entities, right?
Yeah.
Why the hell would a demon hang out in an empty building? Like, don't you think they want to use that energy? So I
Yeah.
have never encountered. I don't know what that is, but I think it's something that's been manifested from years of investigations and
Hmm.
people leaving their energy there, and now it's trying to be something.
Yeah. I actually wanted to. It's funny that you talk about demons.
Mhm.
I kind of want to challenge you on this question because this has been kind of like because I've been on like a spiritual journey because
Mhm.
I used to be a Christian and now I'm not, and like I've been like because I went to Bible college and all that. I studied a lot, went through biblical stuff, went through all this stuff, and now that my whole life transformation is different, my outlook on life is different, and restudied the Bible and looked at it in a whole different aspect. What if demons are not what we think they are? They're not actually bad because they said demons were fallen angels, right? What if they still are angels and they're not what we're perceived as what they are, but they're actually good and they actually help people in a way where they're watching out for people? What?
I freaking love this. We're getting into theology now, and I am a. It's crazy because Luna and Ms. and I constantly talk about theology. I'm very much into theology.
Yep, me
Aside from
too.
my background with that, I did grow up. So the other half of my other grandma, was this super Catholic, and I'm talking about veil wearing every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday to church. So I got both worlds, right?
Hmm.
And I actually went to Catholic school. So that kind of opened up. I love theology. And I've
Hmm.
actually had this conversation. What if demons and Satan himself aren't what we think it is? Because why would we when you hear someone of the Christian faith say, "Well, you're going to hell for that." Why would Satan help you? If
Hmm.
he's so terrible, why would he help you punish someone on behalf of your faith? So
Yep.
yeah, I think that there could be truth to it. Perhaps their job, everyone has a job, right?
Yeah.
Jesus is a healer, God created the universe, Saint Michael leads the troops. You know, what if their job is to take care of people who have done horrible things?
Yeah, and let me say another thing because like this is gonna get way more interesting. And this
Mhm.
strategy is where why would God let was it was it David? I can't remember can't remember who it was, and now I'm going on blank. Where one of them had to kill their son as a sacrifice.
Oh.
I'm trying to think who it was, and God
Why is my brain drawing a blank too? Hang on, we got the good old Google here.
was
Ghost
it
Rider.
was it David?
Not Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel are actually the first biblical murder.
Yeah, that was the first biblical murder. But like he was challenged. Oh, he was about to kill his son, and also God also flooded the earth and killed a whole bunch of people. Um he said no, it wasn't Moses. Was it Moses?
No, no, was it Moses?
I can't remember now. I'm having
I'm drawing a blank too.
oh my gosh. This is horrible. And I
Isaac?
started stuff. I think it was
No.
I think Isaac.
God orders Abraham to sacrifice his son
Abraham, yeah.
Isaac. There we go,
Yeah.
Abraham.
Like, and if you think about it, why would a God that's so loving, you know, consider that? And if we think about that, like a lot of it was God that was doing the most of the evil things, allowing it, especially with Job. If you think about Job, God was going to allow Satan to ruin Job's life.
Dude, okay, so let's go back. This is a theology conversation now. Everybody, please don't take
Yeah,
offense to this. What if, okay, so now I'm going to throw this one at you. What if instead of Lucifer being casted out, what if they actually casted out God and Lucifer stayed upstairs?
that could be possible. That could be
There's a
possible.
lot of mean things that happen.
Yep.
Like it's a lot. I mean, especially growing up with Catholicism, it's
Mm-hmm.
terrifying. The whole basis of Catholicism is to terrify you, to keep you in line, right? Like if you do
Mm-hmm.
that, you're gonna die. Your skin's gonna be ripped limb to limb.
Well,
Like, okay.
didn't an animal maul a bunch of children in a campfire in the Bible, and God
Mm-hmm.
allowed it? And like, there's just so many things that are negative that what God,
Flooding the earth.
yep, flooding the earth, um, torturing Job, a whale eating a person for 3 days. Like,
That doesn't sound like someone who has our best interests at heart. I'm sorry.
no, there's the theory of two gods. That's what someone just said. I mean, anything's possible, but like that's why like left this Christian faith, and don't if this like deters you, don't let it offend you, because like I went through this whole thing that had to restudy and everything, and what made me start believing this way, because my whole life I was told that I was going to go to hell if I didn't believe in God. This would happen.
Mm-hmm.
I had to be forgiven and stuff like that. And then like during this journey of mine, during this Christian journey, I tried to be friends with other Christians, and I realized that they were pushing me away. It wasn't the love that that says in the Bible that we're supposed to love each other. It
Mm-hmm.
happening back. I was loving them, but they weren't loving back. So that's
Yeah.
why my journey kept falling away from God because of all those experiences. And I'm like thinking, what if God's the bad guy in this story? And that
Yeah.
Satan was the Satan was being the one blamed for it when he was the actual person trying to help people, but God forced him to do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it just makes more sense to me, because if you read the Bible, especially the Old Testament, it's all negative.
Yeah. It
All
reads like a
negative.
true crime, doesn't it?
It is, and it's all God that's doing it, and Satan is like technically the person being forced to do it. You know what I mean? And that's why this whole theology and stuff and everything, and like everybody says, oh, it's a demon. It's a demon doing that. A demon closed the door. A demon forced this. But
Yeah.
what if it's not a demon? What if the demon's the one that's actually protecting you?
Right.
Your
Right.
guardian angel.
I will say this. One of my favorite places to investigate are cemeteries.
Mm-hmm.
I love, love, love a good cemetery, just hanging out in the cemetery. And
Yeah.
a lot of people look at me and they're like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Why would you love hanging out in a cemetery? Well, for one, it's peaceful. There's not a whole lot of alive people there that you have to share space with. And you can have some really cool conversations with spirits who haven't talked to anyone in God knows how long, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of people who are on the religious side of things will argue, well, there's no spirits in cemeteries because it's consecrated ground.
Yeah.
It's not true. That's not true. There are spirits there and they come and go. I don't know. It's like a whole little neighborhood. But one thing I noticed in those locations is you will always see shadow men.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I go to often has, let me think, 6 large plots, right? And there's
Mm-hmm.
always one stationed in each plot. At first, they used to scare me, but now I think they're more kind of like of a security thing
Yeah.
going on there. The more, I mean, I've been investigating this location religiously for 4 years, and
Wow.
I firmly believe that those are kind of like, spirit security, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Discusses at length. I also think dark entities are born from tragedy and slaughter because that's it. Demons. Instead of saying demons, let's start calling it dark entities, because I agree with Ms. I think it's, if someone dies, you think that if like someone who was horrible, let's say that they enjoyed torturing animals and humans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that the minute they die, they're going to be like, oh no, that was terrible, I
Mm.
don't want to do that anymore, right? They're going to find ways to still get that satisfaction, right?
Yeah.
I think that's where your demons come from, not actual demons, just really bad people who still don't want to be good and continue to do crap in the afterlife.
Yeah. And the cool thing to put more on this, to put a piece on this, of that, why I think Lucifer is more good than bad, because I went to Salem yesterday, which it's supposed to be a negative place, right? Because back in the day, they blamed women and men for doing, witchcraft, when
Right.
it really wasn't witchcraft, because they were blaming for things that wasn't witchcraft,
Right.
and the yada yada yada, the whole history goes on and stuff like that, and life goes on. There was wars and all that stuff, and now that going to today, going there and experiencing it for the first time, because I haven't been there since I was a kid. When I was a kid, I didn't really remember much there.
Hmm.
But going now as an adult and with my family, it was probably the most and especially through like the witch town where the original witch houses were, and
Mm-hmm.
the graveyards and stuff. It was probably the most peaceful experience place that I've ever experienced, because I felt like the spirits knew that when a person is like, I guess, sensitive and stuff, they know, and they give
Mm-hmm.
you that peace knowing that you will be okay, that you're in a
I
good.
love that.
And the reason why I say that, because I felt like this whole time in between from then to now, like, I feel like in history, people get blamed for shit that shouldn't be blamed for.
Oh
Like a
yeah.
person doing bad stuff when they're not really doing bad stuff. Like a person who believes in something that's not really bad. And there's always going to be something out there that's going to say, oh, that's of the devil, or that's going to be like evil, or that's, you shouldn't be believing this way. But I believe when, like that day yesterday, it was like I said, it was the most peaceful place, and like it was cool because everybody's believing in witchcraft and this and that. And
Mm-hmm.
think about it, Christianity does the same thing as witchcraft. They had
Yeah.
Jesus turned water into wine, where people were
The body of
rebuking
Christ.
body of Christ, rebuking things and all other things. And when people touched Jesus' robe, all of a sudden they got healed. They got magically healed all of a sudden, but it's
Sounds a
all,
little voodoo-y to me, but we'll leave that alone.
I know it's all the same thing. But when I went there, I felt that peace, and knowing that, and living that, knowing that I made the right decision
Yeah.
in that moment right there, because those spirits were telling me that you made the right decision, that you are finally free from all of those places. You don't have to worry about being forgiven. You don't have to worry about having to worry about if someone's going to judge you a certain way,
Right.
or the way you look, or the way you eat, or anything. That's the thing I had to realize in my heart, that I am free from
Yeah.
all the crap that I was believing.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody, whoever is listening to this and oh wow, that's different and stuff, like, you could believe in anything you want, but as long as you know that you're free inside, you're gonna live a way better life instead of feeling
Yeah.
being trapped. Because I felt like I was being trapped when I was living in religion,
Yeah.
and
I
now that I
agreed.
know I'm free, I could do things better. I could eat better. I could sleep better. Well, when you're older, you don't sleep better, but that's a whole different another monster.
We'll get there someday. We'll get there someday.
Yeah. But it's just interesting because that I asked you about that question, because I don't really ask that question a lot. Why? Because everybody thinks demonic stuff is bad. It's a devil,
No.
and it's a beautiful thing, I think, because I think what they're really doing is watching us from what is actually negative.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, it's like, think about it like you're running, think about it as departments, right? You have your
Hmm.
CEO, you have the management, supervisor, security, and then employees, right?
Hmm.
They would fall within the security tier to me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, if you're going to condemn a person to hell, then you can't really be angry at the people in charge of delivering the punishment, right?
Hmm.
But it is, I agree. I mean, going to Catholic school, there was a beauty within it, because then again, I was the weird kid and I'm like, ooh, look at the creepy statues and marble and gold everywhere. It's so
Hmm.
gothicy. I love it, right? But there's also a lot of controlling by fear, and I didn't like that.
No.
And I'm like, you want me to sit here and be like, our God is an awesome God. He's gonna burn me alive. I'm not doing that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, I refuse to believe that there can be someone who, in my opinion, is so mean.
Hmm.
No, I do believe in a higher power, but I'm not gonna fall within an institution
Yeah.
to believe in something.
Hmm. That's so good.
Very
Sorry.
cool that we touched on
Yeah.
that. We didn't even talk about this before, guys. That was,
I
I feel like
know.
it was meant to be.
You know what's funny? I wasn't even planning on talking about that because it just came in my mind because like I was as soon as I had that experience, like out of body experience yesterday in Salem, I was like, man, and it came in my head. I was like, man, I got to talk about that because it's never talked enough about. And I feel like it should be talked about more, especially in today's society, because so many people are like worried about how they're going to be judged and everything and
Right.
how they should live their life. Are you going to be like this? Are you going to do this? You know,
Yeah.
you can't wear, you can't wear your hat backwards or forward, it's we live in a
How dare you
society
wear
nowadays.
pants? I can see your legs. No,
Yeah.
no, sorry.
Like it's like you can't do anything in this world because no matter what you do, and I'm gonna go even more here, like, and I know this gets picked on a lot too, like trans and gay people, like live your life how you want to live it. If you want to be trans, you want to be gay, you want to be some other thing, you want to be a cat, you want to be a dog, live your life the way you live it because it's your only life left.
Yeah. Just be happy and be a good
Yeah.
person. That's all
Just
there is to life.
that's all it is. And that's why I don't get about people like judging other people like that because it's not like
Yeah.
holding a gun to their head. You
Yeah.
know
And
what
I
I mean?
mean, if you're not hurting anyone, if
Mm-hmm.
you're happy, if you're living your life to your best authentic self, and you're just being a general good person,
Yeah.
that's all I feel that life should be, you
Yeah.
know?
I
And
agree.
I actually I do consider myself a witch, and I have my little witchy friends in here as well. Now, don't tell me, well, what are you, Wiccan pagan? I don't fucking know, Josh. I don't know. Okay. I'm just, I'm
Cat for
just,
president.
I'm just going with the flow of things. I do my own thing. I work with spirits. Cat for president. Woo. Um, but it's, I have felt more accepted.
Mm-hmm.
Here in Colorado, we have this area. It's called Manitou Springs, right? I
Mm-hmm.
kind of consider it my own diagonally. Okay, shout out Hogwarts, love them.
Oh,
Um,
I love Harry Potter.
I love Harry Potter. I'm a. What house do you think I'd be?
I'd say Ravenclaw. Hufflepuff. Slytherin.
You got it.
Slytherin's cool. I like Slytherin.
I love Slytherin. But yeah, so this town is called Manitou Springs, and it's basically got all of your metaphysical stores, any spirituality,
Mm-hmm.
very much in touch with your spirituality. And every time I go down there, it's just kind of like the feeling you were describing in Salem.
Mm-hmm.
Instant peace, instant
Mm-hmm.
acceptance, instant just being me and getting in touch with myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel that going to church. I
No,
didn't.
and it's funny because you say that because I was gonna say the same thing. I felt a way better feeling in Salem with the spirits there than I ever did ever in church. Which is sad though if you think about it, because we're always taught right that we're supposed to love each other,
Right.
and be there for each other, and it doesn't happen. People
No.
judge you more than I've ever seen anybody been judged before.
Yeah.
It's weird, but I don't know. Interesting conversation though. It definitely is. Like I could talk about this forever
For
because
hours.
for
For
hours.
hours.
It like especially with other different religions, it's weird. Like because I used to live in Australia back in 2012, and I bumped into a guy that was sitting on a chair waiting at the bus station, and I was heading to work that day too, and he was a Buddhist, and he we started talking, and he like started telling me about his religion and stuff like that, and I told him about mine, and we just like we're just talking like just two guys just talking about religion. We didn't judge each other. We
Yes.
didn't like say, "Oh, mine's better than yours." And
Right.
it was probably the best conversation I've had with someone in a different country that understood, that we could share each other's religion and share each other's thoughts and love and kindness and be there for each other. And that's what
Right.
it's about. It's not about hate, it's about love. And I think that's what people need to understand, that's what it's about, to get together especially now that I'm transitioning this story into the next one, which it becomes hate. Because if everybody knows what we're going to be talking about, and Miss Paranormal knows what we're going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about the Warrens, Annabelle, and which I know you guys are familiar with because I've been seeing it all over Facebook. Everything's going on. Which before I do say that, because I know I've mentioned to you when I was in Salem, I got to peek into the glass door where it said the Warrens Museum, and I know you said this was interesting that I saw a whole bunch of people building stuff inside the museum. They were bringing in wood and all a bunch of stuff, but it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out and set up because I think this is going to be like a big money grabber
Oh yeah.
for the people that are putting this on. If you know what I mean.
I think it's interesting because, like what we were talking about earlier, because they did not get approved basically to open a storefront there. And correct me if I'm wrong, I could be wrong. It's interesting that they were basically invited by a shop to host them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you building a whole new thing? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like a loophole was found to do what they wanted, regardless of what the people of Salem said.
Yeah.
And that's the part that kind of upsets me the most. The people are telling you we don't want this here, and you just basically said, don't
Yeah.
care,
Yeah.
money.
Well, and the weird part to me is like that I saw, and since I mentioned they were bringing in wood, they're building a whole bunch of stuff because I know they were talking through the grapevine. This was going to be a short ordeal. Why are
Right.
they building stuff and putting all their money into a building, a room, or whatever? How big this is? Because I couldn't really see all of it. Because I was like being nosy, you know,
Right.
as I am. Yeah, it's in Blackcraft. If they knew this history, Warrens hated witches.
Yeah, they
Um,
did.
yeah, and that's a whole nother story about the Warrens and stuff like that. I'm believing. I know there was a lot of conspiracy with the Warrens and stuff like that, but that'd be a whole nother podcast just for that. But if you think about it, what are they building inside? Is this going to be a forever thing museum that they're doing, or are they just spending money
Right.
for a month to bring this in, which I think is kind of weird, wasting money into a building, bringing all the artifacts there, including Annabelle, and charging probably who knows. Like, I know I saw a price online, but I don't know if that's going to be the official price on it because I know they say if you pay this, you get a shirt, you get this, that, a official badge, um, Warren museum badge and stuff like that, but it's going to be very interesting because my thought in the Annabelle doll, I believe that more of the stuff that they bring with the Annabelle doll is probably going to cause more issues in Salem, especially when the spirits of Salem probably don't want negative stuff there.
Well, I mean, especially like they said in the chat, the Warrens hated witches. They hated witches. I don't think it's going to bode well with the spirits there. I also don't believe, my personal belief, if there ever was anything in Annabelle, it no longer is there. It's been gone, long gone.
Yeah.
Okay. If that's even the real doll, because there's been a lot of speculation whether that is still the original doll or not.
Yeah.
There's
Now,
no, if you think of, sorry, there's no, what do you call it? There's no paper trail, right? Like when you have evidence, you're supposed to keep in museums, they do this. Okay, today I'm taking out the doll to restore her. Name, sign, right? They
yeah.
don't have any of that. They have no paper trail. So how do we know?
Hmm. That's interesting. Do, do do they actually really own all the artifacts for the museum of the Warrens?
From what I heard and from what I've seen in research, they are basically leasing the artifacts.
Yeah, that's
As
what
a
I thought.
matter of fact, I had someone leave a comment in one of my videos that they paid money to go see the Warren items
Mhm.
at one of the conventions. And when they got into the convention, it was none of the Warren items, but it was instead the items that Elton's been little by little procuring,
Hmm.
which opens up a whole other can of worms for me because, man, let's be honest, we get made fun of here so much. People make fun of us all the time. We're used to that, right? Oh,
Yeah.
you believe in Bigfoot? Oh, you believe in ghosts? Woo, 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 right? We don't need more people putting stigma on what we already do.
Yeah.
We don't need more fabrications. We don't need more any of that, right? Allegedly, there's a fire doll now.
A fire
Have
doll.
you heard of the fire doll?
No, no, I want to hear about this.
It's apparently he procured a doll that the house, I don't know the details, but the broad idea of it is the doll is the only thing that survived out of the fire.
Hmm.
So this is going to be now the new, in my opinion, bigger than Annabelle's story
Yeah.
because they do not have these items permanently. At some point, I don't know how they're going to work it out. I don't know what kind of contract situation they have. But at some point, Tony Sparrow is going to be like, okay, cool. Now we're going to take the items back. It's been good working with you. Have a good day. You know,
Yeah.
what do
Does he
you do next?
does he still own the items though? That's the question. Does he still actually physically?
Tony? Yes.
So he's leasing them out to Matt Riff and keep forgetting his
Elton.
Elton. Why do I keep
Yeah.
forgetting his name?
Okay. You know, but yeah, it's, I don't know how long of a lease it was. I thought it was supposed to be probably until the end of this year, but who knows what they worked out. They're not exactly transparent people when you ask them questions.
Mhm.
So don't forget the bags they put on her hands to stop her from setting. Oh, that's right. They put bags on her hands to stop her from setting fires. Animal, they
Oh.
put bags. Okay, now let's go with me on this for a second.
Yeah, I
The
want to hear
dog
about.
sets fires. You put a bag on her hand. That's going to stop a fire. How is a bag something that'll stop? Would you throw a bag in the fire and be like, "Oh, that'll stop it." Here, oh no, it's on fire. Here's some plastic. Oh no, that'll stop. No, that doesn't make any sense. I would
No.
have at least oven mitts. Could we have done oven mitts at least? That would have been a little more respected, little smidge.
Yeah. I just think with this whole situation, I think they're gonna con a lot of people, especially like the people who are protecting this whole ordeal. There's gonna be lines out the door. They're gonna be paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to see this thing, to especially experience something. And here's like my experience with the paranormal. The more people you have, the less experience you have, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I think honestly, at that point, they're gonna start like making it more Disney World-ish, where animatronics and things are gonna start flying all of a sudden, and doors closing with a wire. And I think that's
Yeah.
gonna be because you can't really force a spirit, especially a mean spirit, if you want to, because sometimes, like, especially if you piss it off a lot more, like it just ain't gonna want
Yeah.
to do anything.
I
It's
agree with that 100%. Sometimes you don't like, and a lot of people don't. This is where the difference between entertainment and real investigation has to be drawn, right?
yeah.
Because you can't force the spirit to interact with you. You
No,
just can't. If I'm on the other side and you come at me and be like, "Oh, you evil spirit, talk to me," I'm going to be like, "Have fun with that. Not talking to you." You
Zach
can't.
Haunted, Miss Paranormal just said Zach Haunted Museum 2.0. That's very true.
Yeah.
And it's funny if you think about it in this way, because it's like saying a spirit's in the bathroom and they don't want to be bothered. You know, it's like leave me alone, dude. You know, it's they don't want to be
Right.
bothered. Like the only time a spirit wants to be bothered is when you're pretty much one on one with them. That's when they'll
Yeah.
actually interact because they don't want to play. They just want to be left alone. Like if you're if like a lot of people just want to be left alone. They don't want to be bothered, you know.
Yeah.
And especially the older you get, if the older you get and the older spirit you get in life and in death, you don't want to be bothered at all as it is. You know, but
Right.
why do you want to be bothered and stuff like that with a lot of people? And that's what I'm getting to at this because it's just going to become more of a Disney World act.
That's what I kept on saying. I was comparing it to, you've been to Universal Studios, right?
I used to
You
go
know
all
how,
when I lived there.
yeah, same. You know how they have all the little, like, oh, this is the Men in Black, this is the Murder
Yep.
She Wrote, this is the Back to the Future. That's how old I am. Okay, that's how long it's been since I've been to Universal Studios. Okay,
Yeah.
um, I feel like it's gonna become that, and I don't want that for us who
No.
take this seriously. Like, don't make it a cheesy roadside attraction. And the
Well,
people of Salem are gonna get pissed.
yeah. And the thing is, it's gonna wake up a lot of spirits there in Salem, especially when they feel like it's gonna change. Salem's gonna change as soon as they start bringing those artifacts there, because those artifacts are not there yet. Because they're still doing the thing at the Ed and Warren's home, charging
Mm-hmm.
thousands of dollars right now with just to do that, and just think about once they bring all those supposedly evil artifacts into a town that wants peace and relaxation, because they went through a lot of hell as it is, going through what they went through in life, being burned through,
Right.
doing this, went through hell, been sick, and now you're bringing in something that's going to wake them up in terror and agony, and they don't want that, and it's going to wake up the town, and things are going to get pissed off, and things are going to happen.
And a lot of people forget that in that strip itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are apartments above those shops. People
Mm-hmm.
live above those shops.
Yep.
So they're going to have to deal with traffic issues,
Yep.
not just on the street, but on the sidewalks.
And it's already crazy
Um,
is with
yeah.
people going to visit Salem year round, especially Halloween.
Yeah. I think it's just disrespectful that they couldn't accept
Yep.
no for an answer, but it kind of feels animal like this is what I've been tracking even before the Conjuring House, right? When they first acquired the Warrens Museum, I looked into it, and that's when I got hit with the, what do you mean I got to pay 2 to 3K to go to this location? And then on top of that, I have to pay fees for you to review my footage and okay it before I can put it on my platform. That's when I started looking into this. It wasn't anything from the Conjuring House that came later, right? And called it back then. I said, what is happening right now is the silent monopolization
Mm.
of our community,
Yeah.
to where you and I are going to have to take out second mortgages if this doesn't stop, to
Mm-hmm.
just go and investigate one simple location and pray to gods that it's not hovering with people. Because, like you said earlier, you can't investigate a location when there's 10 to 20 people in there. You just can't.
Yeah. So it said, "Oh Lord, the Warren topic." Oh,
What
that's
happened?
funny. Luna said it's going to be a $200 ticket to see Annabelle in Salem.
I heard about, that's one of the rumors
Damn.
I've heard, and that's ridiculous, dude.
They're
I'm
going to ruin
sorry.
Salem. I hate to say it. They're going to ruin Salem because they're going to make more people come, and it's going to cause a lot of drama and stuff like that. And they're going to be religious fanatics that are going to come there with their picket signs
Oh, Lordy.
like that. It's going to be bad. I hate to say this, but I'm not liking the way this is going. It's really immature if you think about it. It's
It really is.
for their pockets to get bigger, they're
It
using, I don't know.
it's a slap in the face to all of us, really. If you, I mean, honestly, I know it's such a beat up, like Yvonne said, it's such a beat up topic. But here's the thing: if we don't talk about this, it's gonna get worse. And
Yeah.
all the locations that we all love going to eventually will be owned by someone like this. Maybe not him, but an entity just like this one. You're gonna have to pay an arm and a leg to get in there, and perhaps you don't get anything, because at the end of the day, spirits, they may not be corporeal, but once upon a
Mhm.
time they were like us. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you piss me off, I ain't talking to nobody. You can come investigate all you want with your REM pods, your EMFs, your
Yep.
dowsing rod. I'm not touching nothing. Good luck.
Yeah. Someone's saying it's also $200 to see it. No, it's $200 to see a doll. No thanks. You want to know what the funny thing about that is, about just seeing Annabelle the doll? They're selling the little dolls because they're going to be with Annabelle in the store, and I think they said they were between 250. I think Miss Paranormal told me think between 250 to 350. If correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Paranormal. If I think you told me that, but I can't remember.
No.
But it was ridiculous when she told me that. I was like, are you on drugs? Literally selling a little Raggedy Ann doll that I could get at like Amazon for like $10.
You see right there?
Yeah,
I
right
showed you
there.
earlier.
Yeah.
So I have Raggedy Ann and Andy, and I have 2 miniature Raggedy Anns, okay?
Mm-hmm.
65 total for all 4 of those through thrift shopping.
Mm-hmm.
I will make my own Raggedy Ann before I pay $300. And I kind of makes me wonder about the licensing with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, Raggedy Ann is still owned by Hasbro, I believe. And I wonder if they're like, yeah, you could totally profit off of our name and our brand.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder about that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make a note about that.
Interesting. I don't know. It just blows my mind that it like pees me. And the thing is, you know what the sad part about this is, like, all the fans of Matt Rife and Elton and all that are like saying it's like they're saying the most stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life, because they're saying things that don't make any sense about the paranormal and stuff like that, because they know nothing about the paranormal.
Yeah.
That's the funny part. And the other part is that they're attacking you guys because they're trying to protect a comedian that has no idea what he's talking about.
They came so hard for Ms. And not only did they came hard for her, like you said, they don't know nothing about our community, right? Because now you're merging a comedian's fandom with the paranormal community. We're not a fandom, we're a community.
Yeah.
We are people who within our own little niches practice investigations to some degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the most that they could come with her is insulting her. One of them doxed her. Quite a few of them threatened to beat her up. One guy tried to said, "I'm going to steal your identity."
Yeah.
And my whole thing is, Matt Rife, you know this is happening because they were tagging him. I feel that as a person, whether you're a creator or celebrity, it is up to us to set the tone, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I saw anyone who follows me behaving like that, I would definitely say something.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely like, this is not okay. We're not going to do this. You can't have a logical conversation with them because they're just here for entertainment.
Yeah.
That's why I said we got to separate entertainment from actual investigations and what we do here.
Yeah.
The entertainment isn't jiving with us. Elton started off on Vine. Do you remember that app, Vine?
Mm-hmm.
Where they used to do little challenges.
Yep.
And it's not just him, a few other creators, Shannon Colby, I believe. I think Twin Paranormal too. I'm not sure though. But they started off on Vine. When that platform went away, they came to YouTube and they tried doing the same stuff they did on Vine on YouTube. It didn't work, right? They then fell into urban exploration and discovered that brought their views back up. So they did that a little more.
Yeah.
They mixed in the paranormal with it, and that's when they shot up with viewership. And ever since then, they stuck with it. Why? Because it worked for the algorithm. It brought in the views, it brought in the checks.
It's about the money.
Since the beginning.
Yep. It's sad.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be nice to have money and stuff like that, but you know what? I don't want to do the paranormal for the money or for.
No.
I'd rather just come on here and have fun and talk about, like, you know, it's funny that we talk about this because I had someone message me say, "Oh, like I had to unfriend you because you were talking to other people that were talking down about this whole thing that's going on," and I'm like, "Why?" That's so stupid because, like, number one, I'm like, we're all supposed to protect each other, number one.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, we're here for each other. Why can't we be honest with each other? You know, why do you have to unfriend me because of all this stupid shit? It's so stupid. And that's why I'm like starting to become more protectful of the paranormal community, because it's the more that I see what's going on and how you guys are getting attacked and how other people are getting attacked, it's very childish.
It's yeah, I mean, it used to be where we could just talk about these things, right? And maybe
Yeah.
we agree, maybe we don't, right? But it was no big deal that comes out of it.
Yeah.
Now it becomes a harassment campaign. But the funniest thing is that the ones that are usually doing the harassing, if you will, they'll turn around and say, I'm the victim. Boo, it's me. Oh my gosh. I threw a
Yeah.
stone and they threw it back.
In the weird part, they're showing death threats and all this stuff. It's like, why? In what point do you think that's going to bring you anywhere if you do a death threat to somebody? You know, where are you going with this in life? Because it's stupid. It's like,
Well, first of all, it's dumb, but also
yeah,
that's a terrible idea because if you
yeah.
think I'm a pain in the ass, earthbound, imagine the nightmare I'm going to be for you on the other side
Well,
if that were to happen.
in like that saying, like, if you don't like to listen to somebody, you don't have to listen to them. Don't turn it on. Why do you let it?
Thank you.
Why do you let it bother you so badly that you have to listen? Which I have a theory. It's meaning that it's hitting them where it hurts, meaning you're hitting a truth spot inside of them. That's why they keep coming back, because they don't want to hear the truth. When people don't want to hear the truth, they're going to keep listening because they know it's true and they don't like it. So that's why people attack.
Exactly. And I will tell you this, I used to watch all those YouTube channels,
Mhm.
okay? I know a lot about all of them. I started watching them somewhere about 2019. Very entertaining, very funny, right?
Mhm.
But I also knew that a lot of the stuff they did was bull crap, right? I'm
Yep.
just here because I enjoy watching this stuff. I'm using my diligence and understanding that they also have to do this for
Mhm.
entertainment, right? So I'm not going to get mad if you come to me and say, hey, you do understand that it's not like that all the time, right?
Yep.
Sometimes it takes hours and nothing happens because that's happened to me. I'll go to a location, 6, 8 hours there, nothing happened. Cool. Had a great time. Enjoyed the history. Going home now, you know?
Yeah.
Um, I think it's kind of like telling, and hopefully there's no children around. Okay. It's kind of like telling a child that Santa Claus doesn't exist and you just
Mhm.
ruined their entire life, right?
Mhm.
And instead of them accepting it, they're going to pitch a fit and be like, no, you're wrong. He does exist. How dare you tell me he doesn't exist, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and for the most part, we get told a lot because we do cover these topics. Well, you shouldn't watch it. I'm like, no, actually, I have to watch this because I'm covering what's happening in our community.
Mhm.
And this is something that's happening within our community that needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
I'm just making my points.
Yeah. It's so crazy. I know we only have a couple of minutes left, but like, just I wish we had more time. But it's just nuts just thinking about all that, just how people get attacked,
Oh,
just for
yeah.
the
It's
most
crazy.
stupidest things. But speaking about Vine and stuff like that, you do know that MySpace is coming back.
What the heck? I know, right?
Yeah, the owner of
MySpace.
MySpace. Actually, you know what's funny about that? Because they said they sold it, right? The original Tom sold it, but apparently he never did. That was a lie. He still owned it this whole time, so he is bringing MySpace back.
Do you remember all the fights on who was on the top 8? I don't know if
Yeah,
that happened with you and your friends, but if you
yeah,
accidentally moved someone to the second spot, why did you move me to number 2? What happened? What did I do wrong?
yeah. It was so fun. I'm actually happy because I definitely would go back to MySpace because Facebook's kind of boring.
Yeah. Ooh, MySpace paranormal space.
Yeah, there we
Hey,
go. Hey, probably get more better algorithm there than we do in Facebook.
no kidding.
Didn't say that too loud because they could probably block me now.
They heard you already. It's done.
They heard me. But before we leave, tell us a little bit that what you're going to be going to next, like investigating places to visit, and where can people find you on our amazing Facebook, hopefully MySpace/MySpace soon.
Well, you can find me on Facebook. I am Kat at Paranormal Empire YT 666. I do have a YouTube, not quite yet using that. Look forward to a podcast with someone very special that we will be doing a podcast. On TikTok, you can find me under Cat. And I just do a lot of cemetery hiking investigations and locations around Colorado.
That's awesome. I don't know if Miss Paranormal knows yet, but I definitely want to have a round table discussion with you, Miss Paranormal, Luna, and is it Truth? Is it Truth and
Stevie.
Stevie and Stevie. I
Mhm.
want to get all of you guys.
That sounds great.
We're gonna have a big discussion. I'm gonna try to get you all guys on the show because I think that will be a kick in the ass to what's going on here in the paranormal, and I think it'd be an awesome discussion to have with all you guys. But thank you so much, Kat.
Thank you.
I had such a great comment, and we even had conversations I was even thinking about having. And man, we gotta keep talking about it because it's good to talk about.
Yes, always.
But
thank you for having me on.
Thank you. But before once we get off the air, we'll talk a couple minutes before after the show, and then we'll head out. But thank you everybody for watching Animal Expedition Files. It was amazing seeing everybody. And thank you, Kat, for hanging out with me tonight and talking about some amazing things. It was
Thank you for having me on.
So everybody have a good Saturday. Well, no, Sunday. Wow.
It's Sunday.
It's Sunday. That means I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Oh no.
Damn it.
Yuck.
No, it's all good. But everybody have a good Sunday and have a good beginning Monday. And always remember, stay healthy, be fresh, and love life. Peace out.
Lights on.